Hello, 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 everyone. If you can hear me loud and clear, type A1. All right. Thank you, everyone. All right. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everyone doing? All right. Hi, Alex. All right. Nice to see some familiar names. Okay, guys. Well, those of you who are new to me, my name is Kenneth Wong, and I am a consultant at Joey Up Consulting Group. Okay, and welcome to my webinar. Let me see, on career storm on the horizon. All right, I know it sounds a bit scary, yeah? Okay, now, those of you, how many of you were very, like, you were curious when you saw this title? All right, type of one. Okay, when you saw this title, you say, oh, I have to attend. Okay, now normally there's a special reason why I'm doing this. Okay, most of my webinars are not planned, by the way, right? All right, because normally my webinars nowadays are based on a need be basis or an urgent basis. All right, because there is a reason why this topic came about. All right, because for the last 6 months, myself and my fellow consultants have been very busy fulfilling consults. And when I say fulfilling consults means we were trying to address one main question, and that is help us prepare for 2025 because the whole world seems to be so messy, so chaotic. All the problems are happening. We have no direction. Please give us some guidance, give us some glimmer of hope. Okay, so those of you who saw this title and you guys felt, you know, motivated to join this webinar, normally we can categorize you into three main categories. The first one is you guys were curious, all right? Because most of the time, you guys probably heard from Dato Joey Yap that, 2026 and 2027 were going to be extremely messy, right? So 2025 was the year to get ready. All right, so you guys probably came here for more information. Now, category number two means you see what's happening in the US, in the Middle East. Everything is happening. Hello, Cynthia, right? Hello, Happy Piggy. All right. These are all my good friends, right? So you saw, like, US very messy. You saw Middle East going crazy, right? There are a lot of tensions. There's a lot of uncertainties around the world, but it hasn't hit you yet. So you're just trying to stay ahead of the curve. That is number two. Okay. And if you are group number three, it means you are currently in an uncomfortable situation whereby your career landscape might be going through some changes that you can't seem to put your finger on it, right? You seem to be going through some pain. Your boss is a pain in the ass, right? The market is moving in a very uncomfortable, uncertain way, right? Stuff like this, right? Okay. So based on groups one, two, and three, type in the chat right now, which group are you guys in? One, two, or three? Number one, you're just curious and you are here to know what's going to happen. Number two means you see a lot of things that are happening, but it hasn't hit you yet. Number three means you're already in a position of discomfort. Okay. 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 Guys, look at the chat. Look at number twos and number threes. It's flooding the chat right now. Now you know what I mean by my webinars are based on a need be or an urgent basis. All right. Okay, guys. So basically a lot of you are here because you see there's so much going on, basically, right? And a lot of it, or I would say 95% and above of it, is just a lot of problems, a lot of uncertainties. And if you can't seem to have clarity or you can't seem to see far enough, this is when fear creeps in. Okay, and that's when some people panic. Okay, especially when they don't have the security of a stronger bank account, or they're over leveraged, they're always paycheck to paycheck on a monthly basis, right? Stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. So okay. Now, how many of you guys remember this from Dato Joey Yap? Type a me. How many of you find this chart extremely familiar? Very nice. Okay, very, very nice. Okay, do not worry. Some of you will say, oh no, is he going to say the same thing? No, I'm not. I'm going to point out to one particular area of the chart that has never been discussed. Okay, all right. So now, 2024, we all know, all right, it is the official first year of period 9, okay, which is what we call the first year of the fire period. Okay, and here we are, 2025, right? 2025, this is where we are. And of course, according to Datuk Joey, stormy seas are on the horizon. These are the years of 2026 and 2027, called the years of the Crimson Horse and the Blood Goat calamity years. Okay, it sounds scary because statistically and historically, once every 60 years, the years of the Crimson Horse and the Blood Goat comes one full circle. Okay, so this happens once every 60 years, guys, because in BaZi, all right, we only have 60 pillars. So the same pillar will basically come back every 60 years. Okay, so why do we say these 2 years belongs to the time of messiness, heightened aggression. All right, it talks about a new world order, right? It talks about disruptions to the markets, market downturn, flipping of governments, a new structure, a new landscape coming up. All right, because historically these are times whereby the fall of the Song dynasty, okay, was based on these times as well. Okay, so this is something that that will happen. Okay, but that's talking about external. That means that's the general external environment that every single one of us will experience. Okay, for example, like COVID, the whole world was hit by COVID, so it's an external event. However, it does not necessarily have to be bad, guys. Okay, it does not have to be bad. On the surface, it looks bad. But don't you agree that if we are able to find clarity and find confidence in every single step moving forward, we are able to find nuggets of opportunities in times of calamity? How many of you agree with me? Type a me in the chat. Okay, and those of you who are in the finance line, okay, long enough, you might have heard a very popular saying that goes, the most money is made when there is blood on the streets. How many of you have heard that statement before? Type a 1. There you go. Okay, so guys, historically as well, all right, in times of messiness, that is where the biggest opportunities always reveal themselves. Okay, but there is a condition, and the condition is your current positioning has to be correct in order for you guys to receive your deserved opportunities. Which means, what do we have to do? Forget about prediction. There's no point predicting because it's going to hit us regardless. What we have to do, right, is getting prepared. Okay, and that is what 2025 is all about. Okay, now, the stormy seas, or what we call the Crimson Horse and the Blood Goat calamity years, are represented by the Fire Horse and Fire Goat years. Okay, these are 2 years of fire energy, very high energy, because on top of the pillar is fire. At the bottom, the animal sign also represents the season of fire. So top and bottom are both fire. So fire is burning at its peak. And why is it representing very impactful transformation? Is because we are in the fire period, right? And this period only happens once every 180 years. That means the fire period lasts for 20 years out of every 180 years, guys. Okay? So the last person who went through period 9 is no longer alive. So this is all new to us. Okay? That means 2025, why is it such an important year? Is because this is the pinnacle year of getting ready. All right? This is called the year of setting the new stage. Getting ready is called setting the new stage. Because, okay, why do you have to set the new stage? What's wrong with the old stage? Because the old stage is no longer is no longer relevant nor able to withstand the stormy seas coming from the horizon. Okay, now this pictorically, this is how it looks like. This is the picture that I first introduced in my special class called FSA Next, right, implementation accelerator, right, at the beginning of the year. Okay, some of you here might have attended it. So this is you, okay, moving from the old stage, right, from moving from an old boat to a stronger, bigger, new ship. Okay, this is 2025. Pictorically, it looks like that. Okay, because if you don't move to a stronger ship, all right, the storms in 2026 and 2027 are going to sink that ship. That means the ship that you were on before, the previous stage, all right, is no longer to withstand the changes coming to hit you. Okay, when I talk about the old boat, in reality, it's talking about maybe your job position, all right, the way you do things, okay, your connections, right? For example, these are no longer, right, strong enough for you to survive or gain what we call advantages in 2026 and 2027. Now, as much as we say 2025 is the year of getting ready, or what we call setting the stage, but 2025 has 12 months. Okay, when is this supposed to happen? Okay, when is this supposed to happen? When are things supposed to come into our lives to force us to shift to the big boat? Now, since fire is the element of change, okay, it's the element of transformation, the month of May, the month of June, and the month of July in 2025 are the 3 fire months, guys. Do you catch my drift? Anything during the fire period means this is what we call the accelerated events coming into our lives that changes our environment, that forces us to find a way out, that forces us to pivot our trajectories. Okay, so this is where we are right now. This is where we are right now. So this is exactly the 3 months period of transformation in 2025, that a lot of things are happening, that a lot of changes are hitting our careers, regardless whether we like it or not. And it is going to force us into a new path. And this new path eventually is going to lead us to a new position to take on the challenges of 2026 and 2027. If you guys follow me so far, type a yes. Type a yes in the chat. Very, very good. Okay, guys. Now, here comes the $1 million question. So far, whatever I've just said, it's similar to what Dato Joey has said. It's also very similar to what I've shared in the beginning of the year. But how many of you honestly, okay, hand on heart, how many of you honestly has asked this question before? What do we have to do? Yes, you guys have been advocating the message of get ready, guys. Come on, you have to get ready, set the new stage, right? So that you can brave the stormy seas in 2026 and 2027. But has anybody told you guys how to be prepared? If you guys have asked that question before, all right, type on me. Because I know I have. All right. Yes, we get the overall concept, but tell us what we have to do. All right. Especially when it's when all of us have different charts, individual charts, all of us have different positions in life, all of us are in different stages of our lives. What do we have to do personally, right? I think that's the $1 million question. So that is the purpose of this webinar tonight. Yes, how do you build an arc? Okay, what's the first step? What's the second step? What's the third step? And it cannot be a generic step-by-step process, because, guys, don't you guys agree with me that all of us are in different positions? Right? Different bank accounts, different job roles, right? Different security nets, different industries, stuff like that, right? Right? So it has to be personalized. So how do you create a webinar that gives answers to everybody individually? All right. So after speaking so much, right, what we are trying to find out, all the answers that we're trying to find out too is how do we prevent this black line going downwards? Type a yes if you agree with me, right? You're trying to find an answer to prevent this. Yes? Right? We are trying to, after speaking so much, we're just trying to prevent this. And we are trying to be on the rate upward elevation towards 2028. Correct? Okay, very good. So we are all on the same page, yeah? To prevent the black downward moving line. Okay. Now let's clean this up. Now, guys, how many of you honestly realized there was another downward moving black line? Now, this is the part that has never been mentioned. Okay, type a yes if you have seen this line, or type a no if you didn't know it was there. Have any of you like sort of thought about it? Like, why is there another black line over there? Right? Okay. Okay. Now, for me to fully understand what's going to happen, okay, let me explain this to you. Once you understand the first black line, you will understand the second one. Okay. I'll just come up my easy terminology. I'll just call this phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 because it's going to happen earlier. Okay? Now, if you understand this concept, you will be better prepared, okay, for 2026 and 2027. Now, phase 1 is what we call, or what I call, entering the realm of period 9. Okay? This is what we call the period 9 transition, happening from 2017 all the way to 2024. Okay, entering the realm of period 9 means this is the first time in your life you get to be introduced to different aspects, to different factors, to different energies of period 9. Okay, that means it's just an introduction. Nothing, no big deal. It's just giving you a taste of what period 9 can be all about. All right. And from 2025 onwards to 2027, these are the 3 years of fire energies. Remember, guys, this is what we call the first wave. Okay, the first wave of period 9 transformation, because period 9 lasts for 20 years. But this 3 years belongs to the first 3 fire years of period 9. So we call this the first wave, because there will be multiple waves. Just like COVID, there were multiple waves, right? Okay, this is what we call progression into period 9. So we give you the appetizer, here comes the main course. Okay, so this is when the period 9 factors, energies, trends, everything starts to saturate in your life. Okay, so one is an introduction, the other one is an acceleration. That means you really get involved in it. Okay, so these are basically 2 phases. For the last 2 to 3 years, I've been advocating the idea of period 9 transition. How many of you guys remembered my talk, whether it's a live talk or whether it's a webinar on period 9 on transition? Type a me. Okay, so those of you who type a me, right, this is part 2. Okay, this is part 2. Okay, I waited a few years to do this. Okay, all right. Okay, all righty. Okay, so let me give you a bit of my story. Okay, now in 2017, which was the first year of the period 9 transition, I was running a family business in the oil and gas industry. Okay, and unfortunately in 2017, the entire global market went into a major downturn. It was one of the worst oil and gas crises in the last 100 years. Okay, so naturally I was a small player, and my family business faced a near bankruptcy situation. That was in 2017. Okay, 2018 I managed to use BaZi to raise $750,000 in 2 weeks to escape the near bankruptcy situation and help my entire family to escape out of this predicament. Okay, 2019, after we got out of this near bankruptcy situation, I became a business speaker on entrepreneurship and fundraising. Okay, because I was looking for a new career. I was trying to find my way. Okay, so this was the first thing I did. All right, because of my track record of how I helped my family escape the crisis. 2020, I was offered the Joya apprenticeship. 2021 and 2022, I became the Joya speaker as well as the consultant proper and trainer. Okay. 2023, I became a course creator in the Joya community. All right, creating a second revenue stream. And 2024, officially I started to do feng shui. Okay, services for the Joey Up community. Now, guys, take a look at my 7 years. Okay, can you all see any patterns? Can you all see any commonalities, similarities? Can you all find any linkages that is very obvious? Okay, type a yes if you can see, type a no if it's not obvious to you. Okay, type in the chat. Can you guys see? No, no, yes, yes, no, no right or wrong answer. I mean, just be honest. Just be honest. Is there anything that is outstandingly common in everything? Is there anything that is really, is there a very strong commonality? Not really, right? Yes, you can see some here and there, but you can't really link every single one together. Correct? Okay. So this is actually very common because every single one of you here in this session will go through this. That means since 2017, if you chart your series of main events happening in your lives, okay, you're not going to be very clear about the commonality or the linkages. So let me help you guys out, okay, in this session. Now, there are top period 9 signs, or what we call top period 9 energies or alignment. Okay, now, the first one, let's talk about industry. So basically, period 9 fire technology. So anything technology associated is part of period 9. Okay, IoT, Internet of Things. So anything that deals with internet businesses, internet processes, and virtual environments belongs to the period 9 industry. Long-term wellness and care, okay, such as improving of your physical and mental wellness. And care talks about, child care, adult care, young adults when they're going into depression, or elder care such as dementia. Okay, so it's all about long-term care. There's beauty and aesthetics, there's metaphysics, or any form, not just from the Joy Up community, any form of metaphysics, any form of unconventional wisdom industry. There's also a lot on education, but this education is more towards adult and executive education because it's all about self-learning. Don't expect your bosses or your companies to provide training anymore. All right. So it's all about you self-training, learning how to use AI, learning about drones, learning about this, learning about that before you apply for the job. All right. So it's executive learning. All right. And there's, of course, the rise of ESG, the circular economy, sustainability. All right. Saving Mother Earth, stuff like that. Right. So this is what we call the industry category. Okay. Sometimes a lot of people come to us and say, Kenneth, you know what? I'm not part of the period 9 industry. Does that mean I'm totally misaligned? No, it could be something else. Category number 2 talks about trends. So we are talking about empowerment of mature women around 25 to 60 years old. Okay. We're talking about women leaders, women entrepreneurship, women thought leaders, movement leaders, right? Anything of higher authority and influence for women. Okay. Entrepreneurship in general, guys or girls, okay, whatever gender it is, the spirit of entrepreneurship is very, very strong. All right. It's also talking about gig economy. It's also talking about flexible working structures. Okay. It's no longer about every day, day in, day out, 9 to 5. This structure is starting to melt away. How many of you realize that? Type a yes if you realize that, more and more companies around the world are adopting flexible working structure for whatever reasons. Correct. This idea of flexibility, right, is getting more and more popular, and more bosses are actually more receptive to this. Yeah, the death of the less traditional mindset. That means people's mind, the way people think, are starting to modernize. All right, no longer the traditional type of mindset. Okay, that means, in order to find money, I need to work my life away. I have to sell my soul to work and all that stuff. No longer that kind of mindset. All right. And of course, the death of traditional businesses. How many businesses that that belongs to the old, the good old days, right? The good old days, the old restaurants, right? Old family businesses, multi-generation businesses, right? They all died. Okay, how many of you realize this? Okay. Okay. We saw a lot of this, especially in Southeast Asia. All right. And of course, if these two categories do not apply to you, then most likely it's talking about the way you approach your life, the way you approach to wealth accumulation. Okay, so you used to do a lot of things on your own, right, in the past. But as time went by, you realized that there were more and more collaboration opportunities, there were more partnerships, arrangements. Even if you're still doing things on your own, you are cross leveraging on other people's expertise, resources, connections, right? A lot of other things. You're doing a lot of cross leveraging. They're leaning on each other to do what you have to do. Okay, there's of course the rise of OPM, other people's money, using other people's money to pursue the growth of what you have to do. Or OPR, apart from money, other forms of resources, expertise, connections, platforms, whatever, right? Other people's resources. The mindset has gone from protectionistic, right, individualistic towards sharing. Okay, so whoever goes back into the individualistic, protectionistic, right, tends to suffer. Okay, because it's misaligned with period 9. And of course, period 9, I always use this example, right? Period 9 is all about all of us going out to the woods, all right, for camping. And at night, we basically have a campfire. The campfire is for us to share the warmth as well as it keeps away dangerous animals. Now, when the fire starts to diminish, starts to become smaller, what do you think we will do? All right, we will try to grab the dry leaves around us, we'll try to grab the dry twigs around us and throw into the fire to keep it going, right? This is called sharing. Okay, and this is also indicative of if you want money, you need to find different channels to accumulate the overall wealth. You can't just depend on one job or one source of income anymore. Okay, so that's the approach to wealth in period 9. Okay, all right. Okay, I'll talk about auditing, finance, and the banking industry later. Okay, Mabel? All right. So these are the three main categories, guys. Okay, so now, okay, let's go back to my example, right? Most of you can't find a very obvious linkage. Okay, so let me break it down for you. All right, I was in a very traditional business. Okay, taken over from my father, right? So when we faced a near bankruptcy, not just us, but a lot of 3 generation, 4 generation businesses went down, and these guys had like tens of millions of dollars in the bank account, and they still went down. Okay, so that's called the death of traditional business because all our structures were the same. Okay, that was in 2017. 2018, okay, I was forced because of desperation to tap into OPM, other people's money, to get myself out of bankruptcy because I fundraised money from other people and did cross leveraging to get myself out of bankruptcy. 2019, I talked about education and entrepreneurship. I went into this line of work. Okay, 2020, all right, when I joined Joey Yap as an apprentice, I tapped into metaphysics and I used OPR. I tapped into his existing community and platform, okay, to showcase my skill set as well as my understanding of metaphysics. 2021 and 2022, same thing, metaphysics, education, like what I'm doing. How many of you who have been following me, right? I'm doing a lot of education, a lot of sharing of personal realization and knowledge that is not being read, that you can't find in the traditional books. How many of you realize that? Type of me. All right. So I'm doing a lot of all this personal realization, education, and I'm just sharing this, hoping that you can take the information and make your life better. Correct? All right. And when I went and when the team says, enough, Kenneth, I think you should do your own course. So I did deeper education. Okay, I created the entire course based on my realization, how I use parts to get out of a bankruptcy situation. And I taught the guys my course called Real Life Parts Execution. Okay, and I created multiple channels of revenue, one in consulting and one in delivering courses. 2024, I went deeper into another area of metaphysics called feng shui. All right, I've been learning this since 2020, but only 2024, after multiple trial and errors, after multiple mistakes, right, you sort of get clearer with the art, and now you're able to, serve the community on a deeper level. Okay, guys. So can you guys see that this was what I was able to accomplish during my period 9 transition year? Type a yes if you see the pattern. Yes? Yes? Do you want to know a secret, guys? All these things that I did was not by choice, but it was due to circumstances because I didn't have any other choices. This is exactly what I mean when your environment, the factors of your environment, the situations of your environment will force you towards a path of the unknown. And you'll be very uncertain, even scared. All right. You do not know what the future lies for you. All right. But you will only know that it's the right move in retrospect. That means when you look back and you go, now I see it. Exactly. That's the reason why I give you this example. Okay. OPM is other people's money. OPR is other people's resources. Okay. So it's about basically cross leveraging. Yeah. Cross leveraging. Okay. Now, your turn. Your turn. All right. You don't even need your parts chart for this. Okay. Since 27 to now, without being overly detailed, just take about 10 seconds, guys. Do me a favor. Take about 10 seconds. All right. It will give you a lot of clarity. Think back from 2017 to 2024. How much your life has changed and in what way? Just mark out those major events that happens through your life. It might not be every year. It might be an event stretched over 2 years. Okay. And how many of these factors did you accomplish? You see, Suis. Right. Okay, so it's education, mature women, flexi working hours, collab, cross leveraging, sharing mindset. 70%, right? All of you will realize, okay, and I mean every single one of you, no exceptions. Every single one of you will find some form of linkage to these three main categories. Type a yes if you see that in your past life. Now, this part is very important. So please indulge me a little, right? Because it helps you in your understanding for part 2. Yeah. So yes, guys. Okay. So now you understand the certain alignments. Okay, the certain compliances of during or period 9 or during the period 9 transition. All good. Close one business in 2019, now moving into new one. Nice. All right, nice. You probably close a traditional one or a traditional approach one, right? There you go. Tech, metaphysics, flexi working hours, less traditional mindset, death of traditional, biz, OPR, sharing mindset. Beautiful, guys. All right. Currently being forced by circumstances to quit my corporate job. Okay. So after quitting your corporate job, entrepreneurship or gig economy might be calling out to you, Ron. Okay, so this is what I mean, guys. All right, when you know this and bad things happen, like losing your job, do you think you would still be fearful? Maybe yes, but you'll be more excited. You'll be anticipating, okay, I'm losing my job because there's a reason. Okay, gone off the traditional mindset. All right, if I lose my job, that means there's a possibility of me going into the gig economy or really pursuing entrepreneurship. Now, if you have this information, guys, do you think your level of confidence would have increased like 3-folds or 5-folds over, some even 10-folds? Type a yes in the chat if you think so. This is my promise to you, called giving you the clarity. Okay, because I spent a very painful 7 years to understand this. Okay, there you go. Okay, there you go. Nice. Now, this is only part 1, guys. But part 1, the understanding of part 1 is the pinnacle learning component, okay, for you to see the future, right? This is the concept that I introduced 3 years ago. When you look at your past, you understand your future, okay? Now, let's go back. Let's come back to the first wave of period 9 transformation, 2025 all the way to 2027, okay? Now, this is where we are, right? This is exactly where we are at this very moment of this webinar, yeah? Okay. Now, when if I ask you guys, right, in 2025, what is the most likely progression for me? For me, as a Joe Yap consultant, I've done BaZi, I've started doing feng shui, right? Do you think that I'll go deeper into metaphysics? Yes or no? Yes or no? Very simple. Yes or no? All right. Straightforward. Yeah. Straightforward. I'm using my chart, all right, so that it gives you a greater understanding that things do not always follow a pattern. All right. It is not always the most obvious choice. Okay. Because despite me doing this for a living, guys, the first 3 months of looking at my chart, I was trying to figure stuff out. All right. To be very honest, I was trying to figure stuff out. Why? Because my plan was not to do Chiman. Even though I've done certain components of Chiman, but I did not do the full complete school of Chiman. Okay, so the natural thing is, this year Kenneth is going to do Chiman, right? But look here. Okay, 2025 is the year of the snake. I am born in the year of the goat. All right. Now, a lot of you might not know this one, right? But the snake and the goat belongs to the season of summer. So it's called the seasonal combination or the directional combination, right? Don't worry about the technical stuff. Just hear me out, right? This combination produces the element of fire. Fire to me is DO and 7K. So DO talks about being a boss, working with new bosses, or being in a position of higher authority. 7 killings means change. And since the year pillar talks about my open market, so I will naturally assume there is a change of market. Now, guys, just based on this information alone, change of market, do you still think that my likely progression in 2025 is metaphysics? Yes or no? Now, this puts a spin to the equation, doesn't it? Okay. All right. But of course, this is just trying to guess intellectually. All right. Okay. Then the snake and the rooster, forms a 3 harmony combination that produces rod wealth. Okay. Now, rod wealth talks about partnership, okay, working with others. All right. And the snake and rooster forms another secret relationship called hidden combination. Now, hidden combination means if I don't say, you don't know. Right? If I don't say, you don't know. If I do metaphysics, you guys, it's going to be very obvious to you guys. Correct? Okay. And this hidden combination produces the energy that represents new job scope. All right, because it produces the water element that indicates doing new things. Okay, so do you guys still think that I'm going to be pursuing the usual metaphysics? Yes or no? Okay, all right. Now, this when you analyze it this way, it's going to be fun. It's going to give you clarity, and that's the purpose of you guys being here today, right? The snake and the rat, there's no relationship, so we are going to skip the rat. All right. And the snake, same animal sign, it forms the Grand Duke. And inside the Grand Duke is the 7 killings energy. 7 killings represents change. And since the hour represents my thoughts and desires, what I produce, what I offer, so I could just say I might offer different things. Okay? Okay, I might offer different things. Okay? Now, remember I said that the first pinnacle month of the transformation belongs to May, which is the snake month, right? Okay, so if we throw in the snake month into the equation, don't you think all of this comes into play? Yes? All right, there will be recordings, don't worry, yeah? Okay, do you think that this entire reading gets transformed in the month of the snake? Yes or no? Type in the chat. Okay. So what does this actually mean? Okay. In May 2025, I started a digital products business, as well as where I'm looking into an e-commerce business at the same time. So I'm looking at two businesses, okay, in the month of May. Okay. Now, but how is my approach? I partner with my wife. So my wife is fronting these businesses, okay? Right? But I'm the one guiding and providing the resources as well as the support behind. Because I'm behind, guys. Can you see how the hidden combination is working? Because if I don't say, you think that these businesses belongs to my wife. Correct? That's called the hidden combination. So I'm actually behind my wife running two new businesses. Okay, so my wife is the face. Okay, is the CEO. All right, and the change of products means instead of me providing even more metaphysics products and services, right now I'm looking at different digital products to offer. Okay, I'm sourcing for different e-commerce products to offer to the market depending on the pricing. So that's what my wife is busy every single day. Okay, she's trying to find the best supplier. She's trying to find the best quantity and all that stuff. Okay, yeah. So that's exactly what we are doing, guys. Okay, that's exactly what we are doing. All right, all right. So can you see how the energy can? So how you see the energy can manifest into something that is not even what I'm doing proper right now? Okay, but guys, can you see the linkage? Yes or no? Type in the chat. Can you see the linkage again? I'm going to keep asking you guys this question. Can you see the linkage? It's very important for you guys to participate now. You guys will understand, right? Okay. So let's carry on, okay, from my charting, yeah? Okay. So 2025, two online businesses. IoT, they are both online, internet using internet processes, internet systems, right? And what do you think I'm doing? I'm creating multiple channels of revenue via partnership with my wife. Guys, now let's go back to this chart. Okay? Yes, my wife is fronting it because it's women. Okay, so I'm partnering with the right gender, all right, and my wife is the younger generation of this mature women category. All right, so that's what I'm doing, right? So guys, this was the chart that I described to you. Now, when I entered 2025, especially when I went through the month of May in 2025, what else did I do? Okay, look at the red boxes. I went deeper. I went deeper into period 9. So when I say I went deeper means I satisfied more period 9 conditions, more period 9 alignment, more period 9 trends. All right. So in terms of industries, I started going into IoT. You see this? I started going into IoT. In terms of trends, right, I partner with mature women. All right. And approach to wealth, I did a partnership. All along, I sort of partner with the Joyak Consulting Group. Now I'm partnering with my wife. Correct? Now, this is the best part. My wife doesn't know how to do online businesses. Neither do I. I have some business knowledge, but online business is a different ball game. It's a very new age game. Okay. So what do you think we did? Okay. We got involved in coaching programs. I coach people in metaphysics, so I understand the importance of coaching. So I paid 5 figures for my wife and myself to join so that we can get coached by a digital business expert as well as an e-commerce teacher. Okay, so whatever we do not know, they teach us. Whatever problems we face, they will go through the problem solving process with us. So this is what we call I'm paying money to cross leverage on other people's expertise because I have no idea what to do. All right. If I start from scratch, it's going to take me a few years. Most likely, I'm going to give up. All right. So what do? I take the shortcut. I go to somewhere who has been there, done that, got the T-shirt right, and say, "Hey, help me. I pay you. I basically this is my sincerity. This is the fee I'm paying you. Please help my wife and myself." Okay. And as of yesterday, I'm proud to announce that we made our first sale of 45 US dollars. Yay. Okay. But you see, guys, this whatever we started is not a be all or end all. It's a start of a journey. Eventually, the skill set, the experience that we gather from our these two business ventures might evolve into something else online that is bigger. But this is where everything gets started. Right? Got it, guys? You get my drift? All right? All righty. Okay. So let's come back to this pictorial representation. Okay. In when you were transiting back then, okay, before 2025, yes, I was doing parts consulting parts. I was offering parts services. I had business and partnership knowledge, but not using much of it. I was doing a bit of OPM and OPR. That's how I got out of my own bankruptcy. I only had one source of income because I was the only one. Okay, back then I was just trying to make money, right, and trying to recover from my near bankruptcy, right? So I was just doing consults and making money, all right? I was a solopreneur, okay? I was doing everything on my own, okay? But what's the difference now in 2025? Okay, what is this big ship representing in my life right now? Okay, now I have both parts and feng shui services. In fact, today I just came back from a feng shui audit. Okay, so this is like a secondary income on top of my partner consulting, right? Of course, the same thing, business and partnership knowledge, but this time around, I'm putting the knowledge, right? I'm executing the knowledge that I have. Okay, not just with my wife, but with our with our coaches as well. Okay. I have created multiple sources of revenue, or I would say multiple channels of revenue in multiple period 9 markets, metaphysics, IoT, e-commerce, whatever you call it, right? Everything is digital and online. Okay, so this is what's going on, yeah. All right, now I'm doing partnership, collaboration, and cross leveraging with the coaches. Okay, of course you pay money for it, right? And I'm doing even deeper OPM and OPR. Okay. So can you see, guys, can you see the difference now between where I was and where I am right now, even though I just started my two businesses? Now, just think about this moving forward into 2026 and 2027. All right. When the storms come in 2026, do you think I'm in a better position of surviving, even thriving? Yes or no? Type in the chat. Can you see the power of collaboration or cross leveraging on other people's expertise? Okay. Don't try to figure everything out on your own. Stop being a solopreneur. Correct? If people have done it, people have clarity. If people know what they're doing, let people help you. Okay, there you go. So can you see this is called preparation for the stormy seas for 2026 and 2027? Okay, all right. Back to this chart. Okay, we are officially here. Now, when you hear this information, right, or when you hear my example, some of you here might say, Kenneth, why didn't you do this webinar like in April? Okay, how many of you, honestly, don't be afraid of offending me, yeah? How many of you might be thinking, Kenneth, why didn't you tell us this earlier before? Right, maybe in April, maybe in early May. Just be honest, right? Type a me. Type a me if you feel that way. It's okay. That's the reason why I can do a webinar. I feel safe. All right, if I do a live event, you guys might throw your shoe at me. Okay? Okay. Now here comes the kicker. Okay, there is a reason why I'm doing the webinar right now. Okay, can you see this is where we are right now in the month of June 2025? Okay, at the delivery of this webinar right now. This is where we are. Guys, can you see what is the animal sign of the month? Type in the chat. What is the animal sign of this month right now? It is the month of the horse, correct? Very good. Very, very good. Okay. And guys, just out of curiosity, right? In year 2026, what is the year animal sign? Horse as well. What does this mean? It means June 2025 is the last horse month before we enter horse year. Now, many of you do not know this BaZi technique. It means whenever we enter the last month, okay, before the actual year itself, right? For example, everything that happens to all of us, in every single one of you, starting from the month of June right now, all the way to 2026, the entire timeline before you enter 2026, every single thing that happens to you happens for a reason, and the reason is to push you towards your new pivots. Got it? That means everything starting from now in June and before you enter 2026, okay, effectively you have about 6 months to 7 months. All right, before February 2026, every single event that happens to you right now will push you to making certain decisions, push you to make certain pivots in your life to prepare you for the stormy seas of 2026. Type a yes if you follow what I'm saying. Okay, this is the reason why I'm doing it right now in the month of June. Okay, so this is a technique that is hardly mentioned. Okay, because people tend to forget about it. Okay, so for example, if you're entering 2027, the month of the goat, starting from the month of the goat in 2026, all right, all the events that comes to you prepares you for the following year. Okay, so this is the month when everything gets real, guys. Now you know why I'm doing this webinar now. Okay. How stormy will 2026 be? I don't know. Rise and fall of empires. Okay. Breakups of old time friendships and new alliances. New world order. Okay. The shift of the prosperity line. Okay, the ones every 180 years there might be a wealth shift, a wealth gap shift. Okay, the poor get rich, the rich get poor. For example, right? Okay, the power shifts from one part of the world to another. Okay, from the west to the east, if you have to know. Okay, okay, all right, all right. Okay, that means starting from this month, every single thing that happens to you from now on, okay, all the way to 2026, okay, is to get you ready. Now, whatever happens to you, right, most of the time is uncomfortable. Because if it's not uncomfortable, you don't move. That's the reality of human beings. All right, if it's too sentimental, if it's too easy, there's a chance of you saying, nah, I'll wait for tomorrow. Okay, so the universe knows us, right? And the universe is always very merciless. So the universe will come up with an event that would not give us a chance, correct? Sink or swim. Correct? Okay, guys. Now, do you guys understand the two black lines? Yes, kick your butt. Correct, Tiffany? Correct. Just like how the universe has kicked my butt, right? Correct. So the reason why I'm giving you guys or feeding you guys this information is because a lot of you guys have privately messaged me, whether it's my Telegram group or my Facebook group, right? And they say, and some of you went through this outburst thing, right? Kenneth, please help me. I'm I do not know what to even ask you, but everything around me seems to be so problematic. Everything around me seems to be crumbling. Everything that I know my whole life seems to be changing, and I'm extremely fearful. Okay, I do read your messages, guys. Okay, and that's one of the major reasons why I'm feeding you this information, because I do not, I repeat, I do not want you to be overly focused on what's happening on the surface. I'm giving you this information for you to understand that whatever happens on the surface happens for a reason, and the reason is to help you pivot so that you end up at a better place. So what do you have to do? Don't resist it, no matter how unfamiliar, no matter how anticipative it may be, no matter how scary it may be. Take the leap of faith and go with the flow, guys. All right, the universe is helping you. Don't reject it. Okay, so what happens if you do reject it, guys? Type in the chat. What happens if you do reject it? Doom, sink. All right, now you know, get hit very hard, right? Now you know what these two black downward sloping lines are all about. Yes or no? Type in the chat. Okay, so guys, imagine this, right? Imagine if I was too stubborn, I was too fearful, I wanted to hold on to my dad's legacy, and I refused to close the business. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen to me and my family? Right? I would have dragged my family, my entire family, all the way down to hell. That is what the black line means. But thank goodness, right? Me being me, and my entire chart is very hard. So I refused to admit defeat, and that's how I survived. Okay, not intentionally, but out of desperation. So that is that's what I mean with the black line. But do you guys think that there are a handful of people who they can be stubborn, they can be too fearful to move, they just want to hold on to past comfort and success, and they refuse to change? How many of you know someone like that in your life? Type on me. Correct? You will see them progressing according to the two black lines, guys. So the first black line at 2023 marks the resistance to pivot during the transition. My wife, my dad. Don't get personal, guys. Come on. All right. Okay, the second black line at 2025 would indicate those who are resistant to change in this time of messiness. Especially in times of messiness and fear, people hold on to past success and safety. Okay, that is when they start going down, and they'll go down to the point where when they no longer can ignore the fact that they are wrong, and they'll be forced to let go. Once they are forced to let go, it's a bit too late, and that's how they start to play catch up. Do you guys see the big picture now? How will we know if we are resisting? Excellent question. If you are not doing things in alignment with the three categories that I showed you just now. Make sense? If you are in alignment with any of those three categories, whether it's the industries, whether it's the trends, or whether it's the approach to your wealth, right? If you are misaligned from those, it's very obvious that you're doing something wrong. You're not in alignment, or you're not complying to the energies of period 9. How to convince your husband? Unfortunately, in times like this, you can only convince yourself. Okay? And if people are too fearful or too stubborn, only pain can convince them. All right? Okay. Now. Okay, now. All right. So some of you, right? Some of you who are a bit more skeptical, I don't blame you, right? I don't blame you, right? Some of you say, oh, Kenneth, according to your chart, how can you just confirm that it is your wife you need to partner? How many of you actually thought of that question? Like, okay, it says partnership. How do you know it is your wife whom you need to partner? How do you know that? Okay. So with my wife's permission, I'm sharing her chart here. Okay. Just quickly, In the month, which represents her career, she has the monkey. Now, the snake and the monkey, first of all, forms a six harmony combination. Okay, so six harmony combination normally means one and one coming together. So it's a bit of a partnership. Okay, now the six harmony combination produces the water element. Again, is DO and 7K. Okay, so what is DO again, guys? Boss, being a boss and increasing your authority, starting a business. 7K, change in career. Okay, all right, change in career. Yes, DO can mean husband as well. But this is the month pillar, so it's normally talking about the career. All right. Now, there's a second relationship. The monkey and the snake forms another relationship called destruction. So destruction normally means it has a change of approach. It's a bit of like restructuring. So it's changing the way you do things. My wife has always been an employee her whole life. Okay, so when you do a destruction of how you approach your career, you become sort of an entrepreneur, or at least you run your own show, right, in the gig economy. All right. Now, here comes the question: partnership with who? With who, right? Now, raw wealth meets direct wealth. Okay, now this is important, guys, all right? Why a partnership is required? First of all, when raw wealth meets direct wealth, right? If you read it from the classical text, it means great financial losses. It means great financial losses because if you do things on your own, because your wealth is being robbed. But raw wealth, if you partner with people and you split the profits, split the costs, and you share the rewards. By sharing, you are satisfying the raw wealth energy. That is why a partnership is involved. Okay, number one. Okay, but with who? Does it have to be me? All right. If you look at, we go a bit deeper here, right? If you look at my wife's chart, inside her natal chart itself, she already has a hidden combination between the monkey and the rabbit. Okay, it's between the yang metal and the yin wood. Okay, hidden. My wife was born with this, okay, way before she met me. Okay, and it forms the element of metal. Metal is her wealth. So in her chart, she's always waiting to partner with her husband to produce wealth. That means start a business. Okay, to start a business. That's why partnership required most likely is the husband. Okay, how do I know this? She doesn't have any other choices. All right. All right. So since her chart supports it, let's just go with the flow. Okay. This is what we call deeper reading based on my wife's natal energy. Okay. Natal energy. Yeah. Okay. And finally, the same thing, the snake and the goat. All right. The snake and the goat forms the directional combination, produces fire. Fire is her friend and rock wealth, which means now she has to serve multiple groups of customers, providing and offering multiple extensions of products. The keyword here is multiple. Now you guys know why I decided to say, yes, let's partner. All right, let's partner, but you run the show. Anything you need, I'll support you from behind. All right, because it's hidden. Everything is hidden. If I don't say, she doesn't say, none of you guys will know. Right? Exactly. Correct? Why not metal chop wood? Well, this is called heavenly combination. Okay, only yang metal and yin wood forms the heavenly combination. All right, and just nice, it forms metal, and metal is wealth to my wife. Okay, so this is what we call when I look at my chart and I validate with my wife's chart. Okay, everything will fit in place. Okay, and everything that we are doing right now is in compliance with period 9 alignment. Okay, now would this be our ultimate success, guys? All right, does this thing, all right, this is called period 9 compliance, but does this guarantee us success? The answer is no. So why do we still take the leap of faith? Because it is in alignment with period 9. So that is why why am I sharing this information with you is because there will be a lot of things. In fact, most things none of you guys can predict. Okay, so what can we use as a reference to give us confidence? Period 9 compliance. This is the reason why I'm exposing this technique to you. All right, don't try to predict the outcome because you can never predict it. But how do you gain confidence that your next step is going to be generally the correct step? By making sure that you're in alignment with period 9. That's it. You're going with the period 9 flow exactly, right? So even if this is not a be all or end all or the final destination, it will lead you to a better place because you are riding the tsunami. You're not fighting it. Got it, guys? Now, this technique is ever more important. It's very abstract. I know, because there is no conclusive answer, all right? But it does give you the ultimate confidence. Okay? Alrighty. You guys enjoying this so far? You guys get the drift? You guys get the gist of it? Yes? Very nice, very nice. It doesn't matter. Don't care about DE and everything. Don't care about all this. Okay, just understand the bigger picture first. Okay, all right. Everything else will just fit in nicely. Okay, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. Yeah, okay. Now, remember I told you that every single thing starting from now, that means the month of the horse in June. Okay, everything that happens to you, every single one of us is starting to prepare us for 2026. Yes? Okay, so let's throw the month of June into the equation for my wife's chart. Okay, now the horse and the dog forms the 3 harmony combination. It produces the yin fire, which is friend. Now, friend means she has to serve different networks of people. So I'll just call this serving different new markets. Okay? The horse and the rabbit goes through a destruction. All right. The day normally talks about your expectations, your initial plans, your perspective of life, how you see the year panning out for you. All right. So when there's a destruction means there is a change of perspective. There's a change to your initial plans. Right? And when IR meets friend, it means there is a change of perspective. Most likely, my wife is going to discover new markets. So she's going to pivot her initial plans, whether it's e-commerce or digital products, to serve the market that is responding to her. Okay? This is called looking forward, guys. Okay? And this is just using June. All right? And of course, the horse and the goat forms a 6 harmony combination. Fire is a friend and rock wealth. This means friend means again increasing more people whom you're serving. And rock wealth means increasing the partnerships. Right now, she's busy sourcing for products. So most likely she's going to work with different suppliers so that she can serve multiple facets of customers. Okay. Now, has this come true yet? No. But based on this energy, and I see what she's doing, right? Most likely, the apple doesn't fall too far away from the tree. Okay, so with this energy reading, she knows exactly what to do. It gives her confidence to go out and contact more suppliers and see which supplier is willing to work with her. And she'll try to test the market and she'll see which customers are more responsive to her. So June might be a very interesting time for my wife. Okay? Got it? So can you see that she's increasing her involvement into more period 9 alignment? You see this? Right? So understand this and start looking at your own events. All right. And then you will see that you're actually going deeper into period 9 compliance. And it's an accelerated progression. Okay. All right, this is exactly what I needed to know at this moment. It's the missing puzzle piece, right? As I said, my webinars nowadays are timely, based on urgency and the need, right? Because I'm seeing all these comments, I'm seeing all these calls for help from the community, and that is when we say, okay, I think we better give them this information, right? Okay, so my wife, who has been an employee for all her life, all right, suddenly in year 2025, she has complied to IoT, education, because she's doing digital products, right? Matured women, that's her entrepreneurship for the first time in her life. Flexible working structure, Definitely a less traditional mindset because no longer looking for a job, right? She's trying to make money in her own way, right? Partnership with the husband, cross leveraging with the coaches, OPM, OPR, sharing mindset, multiple channels of revenue over two businesses. That's what my wife has complied to. Okay, what does your wife sell? She's still sourcing for physical products for e-com. For the digital side, she's selling products that I used to produce. That means I used to write a book. Now we are splitting the book into different information products. Okay. Okay. How many of you guys like this type of me? All right. How many of you just had like aha moments as I was going through my chart, my wife's chart? Okay. And more importantly, how many of you guys started to plot your own series of events based on your own life? Okay. Yes, my analysis might be a bit more technical, but you don't need to be technical. I just need you guys to that means try to look at your life in retrospect from 2017 to 2024. What has happened? Are you compliant? If you are compliant, then you know you're on the right path. So no matter how shitty your environment is, even if you lose your job, you have the confidence of taking the next step forward. You will not be paralyzed by fear. Okay, yes, we will have a replay, not to worry. Okay, if you're currently a housewife, see where you're spending most of your time in or what you're planning for. Okay, it's that simple. Okay, yeah. Good. When did both of you start preparing for opening these two pieces? We didn't prepare, we attended classes first. All right, we needed training, and that was how we signed up the coaching programs. Okay, so when we sign up for the coaching programs, trust me, the timing is not up to you because your coaches will push you to start. This is called cross leveraging, kicking your butt. All right. Okay. Now enough about me and my wife. Okay. Now I'm going to give you another example here. Okay. I'm going to give you another example here. Oh, then when did you decide? I decided when I was looking out for possibilities in my chart. Okay. So when opportunities fit my chart, I just went after it because it was compliant to period 9. Okay. All right. Okay. So now this is a real person. Okay, this is a real person, and she's very generous to share her chart for this webinar. All right. Yeah. So some of you might be going through this. Okay. Now, how many of you know for a fact that you're going through the 6-10-year luck cycle, the luck pillar? Tap on me. I want to see how many of you guys are going through this. The 6-10-year luck cycle. Okay, don't worry. Okay, don't worry. Now, normally when people go through the 6-10-year luck cycle, it normally means a flipping situation to their careers. Okay, to their careers. Now, a flipping situation in the old days means you work your whole life for 40 years, 50 years even. Finally, you retire, right? So back in the old days, when it's period 6, period 7, period 8, the 6-10-year life cycle normally indicates retirement age. Okay, but given the new modern situation now, this normally represents a second career. Okay, this normally represents a second career. If you do not know what this is, don't worry. Just listen to my explanation. Yeah. Okay. So 6-10 luck pillar means just understand that it's a major change. A major change means it's not just from going from one job to another job. It means you have been an employee for the most of your life and suddenly you started your entrepreneurial cycle. Okay, you used to do the traditional way. Now you do the non-conventional way. It's a very big flip. Okay, a very big flip. So now that's one part. Okay, but this chart is a bit special in 2025. Can you guys see that we have a heaven counter and earth clash? Means the top part counters because the metal chops the wood and the peg clashes with the snake. Can you all see this happening? Type a me if you can. Those of you who do not understand technical, don't try to understand. Just hear me out, yeah? Okay. So when you have a heaven counter and earth clash, this is what we call a fan yin. This is what happens in your 6 10-year luck cycle, in your 6th luck pillar. No one can escape. So everyone is going to go through this. So this is the relationship that indicates a massive, impactful career change. Okay? Now, can you also see, okay, so this is called fan yin. It talks about abrupt changes, situation flips, okay, in your career. But this chart is a bit different, right? This chart is a bit more special. Can you see that in 2025 is the wood snake? She is in the 10-year luck cycle of the wood snake. And her day pillar in her natal chart is also wood snake. Okay, it's also wood snake. Can you guys see this? All right, this relationship is called Fu Yin. Okay, now Fu Yin in the classical books, it means a sad event, okay, a sad, undesirable, not so nice event, but is expected in life. Okay, so a quick understanding, right? For example, if you know a person who has been fighting cancer for the last 10 years, and this year you receive news of his passing because during his chemotherapy, his heart stopped, all right, and he passed away, all right. His passing is a undesirable, sad event, right? But it's expected because you know that this poor guy has been fighting cancer for the last 10 years. You guys understand Fu Yin now? Yes? Type a yes if you understand. So it's sad, it's undesirable, but it's expected. That means you can accept it as part of life. Okay? So that's Fu Yin, right? Okay. Sad event expected, right? Okay, cool. So what did this person do? Okay? This person quit her 6-figure salary corporate job because she felt that her working environment, all right, was getting more and more toxic. However, she did this in 2024, not 2025. Okay, in 2024. So she did this 1 year ahead of time. Okay, this can happen in certain months. Okay, in certain months. So she quit roughly, if I'm not wrong, roughly in March. Okay, which basically combined with her pig, right? So yeah, so without being technical, she left the toxic environment 1 year ahead of time. Okay, so she was earning good money and she says, screw this. Right? Some people call her crazy, but she just wanted to be happy, which is very much period 9 compliant because we want to do things that we are happy with. Okay, now. So when she came to me and she only knew about me, or she only got to know me last year. Okay. So I said, so what do you do now? Nothing. I'm like, huh? Really? Right. She said, well, maybe I'm just doing some freelance job here and there. Okay. And so she started her freelancing proper in 2025 in the beginning of the year. That means, February, March onwards. Okay, so she's a freelance trainer as well, like an events coordinator, right? She's a leader to organize and lead groups and events and stuff like that, right? Apart from that, she also teach different types of courses that are fun, adult learning, hospitality based, all that stuff. All right. But why is this a Fu Yin? Because she used to work in corporate and she used to make 6 figures and it was a very stable job. Okay, it was a very stable job. But when she pursued her role as a freelancer, all right, she was rushing for every job that came about, right? So obviously her salary was not stable. All right, she was just trying to make ends meet, even though she has some savings, but it wasn't going to last her for too long. Maximum under 2 years, maybe 18, 19 months, 20 months max, if she's a bit more thrifty. Okay, right. So this is what we call sad event, right? She quit her 6-figure job, and now she's like, according to some people, she's like trying to rush for crumbs. Okay. But now, whatever she did, right now she got promoted in the event space and she's teaching more courses, right? So now she's getting very, very busy. Okay, she's getting very, very busy. Okay, because she realized that more opportunities are coming up, and she is under the category called the dancing bear syndrome, according to Datuk Joey. The moment the bear stops dancing, the bear stops eating. Have you heard of that? Have you heard of that saying from Datuk Joey before? That means when you stop working, right, your money stops. Right? Just like me, if my income is 100% based on consulting, okay, the moment I stop giving consults, I stop earning. This is called the dancing bear syndrome, okay, according to Datuk Joey. So she's in this category. That means she cannot stop working. She cannot stop accepting jobs. And when jobs start to slow down or dry up, she starts to panic because there's no money to make. Got it? All right. So this is why this is a full yin. Because on the surface, when people look at her, oh my goodness, she used to make 6 figures. All right. And now she's fighting for scraps. Can you see on the surface, it looks like that? But I can tell you, if you meet her, right, she's one of the most happiest, bubbly person ever. But she tells you she's dying from overworking, but she's very happy. Okay. So that is like super period 9. Okay. All right. Now, let's look whether she's really crazy. Okay. Last year, she doesn't know much about metaphysics, but through those classes or those free webinars or live talks that she attended, she got to know metaphysics. She's in the line of education. She's definitely in the category of mature women because she's in her 6th 10-year luck cycle. She started being in the gig economy. Because of her nature of work, she's in flexible working structure. She's definitely in the less traditional mindset because she says, screw you, 6-figure corporate world. I don't need this crap in my life. Okay. She's definitely cross-leveraging on different companies and platforms to get her job. She's using other people's platforms to expose her leadership qualities, okay, as well as her interesting character to lead events. And because of the multiple jobs that she's doing, she has created multiple channels of revenue. And I just spoke to her a couple of days ago. She told me the company she left, now the rest of the people are leaving. So that means she's actually way ahead of the curve. She trusted her instincts because she was very much in alignment with period 9. Okay. And the people who are leaving now contacted her because the people look at what she's doing and they feel that she is thriving. Those were the words of the people contacting her after leaving her high corporate job. How many of you find this interesting? Type a me. Okay. And how many of you feel that she has made the right move? She has taken the leap of faith. Okay. Type a yes. Okay. So can you see how even without knowing where you are going, just being able to validate that you are compliant to period 9, you have the confidence to take the first step forward. That is what I'm advocating this evening in this session. Okay, guys? All right. All right. Okay. So, of course, let's throw the month of May into the equation. Okay. In the month of May, this is called clashing out. Okay. So this person told me, Kenneth, I went for every single job. Whatever job that was available, I just went for it. Okay. I say, great. How did it turn out? Okay. Right. 4 snakes appeared. Okay. Snake month, snake year, snake 10-year luck cycle with the snake in the day. So she stepped up in all roles. All right. This was what she said to me. two or 3 days ago, she said, Kenneth, I nearly died in May. I said, of course you did. You pursued so many jobs. All right. Your clash was very impactful and you stepped up in every single role. You didn't say no to anything. Of course you died. Okay. She says, yes, now I can earn because now there's so many jobs. People know that I can deliver. People find my character very attractive to lead different groups of people. But there's one problem that I'm facing. I can't 10x. I can't 10x. What do I have to do? Okay. I'm not scalable. Okay, so guys, you see, in 2024, when she quit her corporate job, that was the last year of her period 9 transition. And the moment the next year came, she started to accelerate into period 9 compliance. Okay, but here it comes, right? She faces another problem. So let's look at the current earning model here. Okay, the current earning model here is she's earning per hour because, like a teacher, you earn per hour. Okay, it's an individual effort and it's definitely not scalable. Even though she can earn money now, but now she faces another bottleneck. Yeah. So the strategy that I told her is, look, right now you're going into classes. In terms of period 9, we have to follow a model called one to many. All right. One effort to many participants, one effort and receive multiple sources of revenue. Right. So I say you have to earn per head count because you're doing events, right? Volume is your money. How can you be paid per hour? Right. It has to be a team effort, and there has to be a way whereby you need to automate your job flow. It cannot be when you sleep, everything stops. When you fall sick, when you sleep, when you go on a holiday, everything stops. It can't be that way. All right. So this is the ultimate strategy. So let's see. In the month of June, when everything happens, the horse and the rat forms a clash, which means June is a good month for her to pursue a new strategy. And since IR meets EG, it means based on the situation, that means her bottleneck, she needs to come up with a new strategy. The horse and the pig forms another hidden combination, so she can approach somebody and work out a private deal. Since this hidden combination produces the wood element, friend and rock wolf energies are triggered, new target audience, okay, it can be triggered or it can be groomed. Quickly, the horse and the snake directional combination, fire. Fire is your eating god and hurting officer. New strategy and execution. And finally, destruction in the hour, new mindset. Okay. So what's the strategy that I did for her based on this reading? Okay. She has to pursue a new strategy based on the current situation. You can't earn per hour anymore. Let's try to earn per volume. Okay. And she told me, okay, I have an idea. I can tap into the National Learning Initiative. She's from Singapore, okay? And the government encourages lifelong learning or long-term learning or adult learning, okay? So instead of chasing for students, she can tap into the government initiative and the government would just send students her way, okay? Depending on whatever she's teaching. She can approach her ex-boss in the training industry and propose a profit-sharing model based on her expertise and her curriculum. So every student that comes in, she goes into a profit-sharing model. Okay, this month she also went into a realization because now she hit a bottleneck. She can't scale, so she's also hitting a level of realization, and she's trying to improve her initial plans of being a freelancer. Instead of earning per hour, now she's going to earn per head, right? And definitely a change of approach. Okay, guys. So quickly, this is the automation part, tapping, cross-leveraging into the national initiative. Earning per head count and team effort by approaching the ex-boss and proposing a profit-sharing model. So she's partnering with the boss, and the boss's company can channel students or could provide training facilities for her to use to conduct her classes. All right. So can you guys see that now as she accelerates into period 9, she's satisfying the collaboration, she's increasing the cross-leveraging, and she has adopted the sharing mindset. Can you guys see? Type a me. Type a me in the chat if you guys can see. You guys like this? Nice? Good? All right. So at the end of the consult, she said all this to me. She says, Kenneth, I'm not sure whether what I'm thinking is correct, but I'm doing all this, right? Because eventually I want to do training, okay, towards mental health. Okay, guys, I don't have to tell you the answer. Should she go for it? Type in the chat, yes or no. 100% yes, absolutely. Yes, 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 yes. How come you guys are so confident now? Because you guys know the secret now. It's called period 9 compliance. Anything that is period 9 compliance is the right move, even though you do not know exactly where you are leading yourself to, right? But that is the correct door to choose. And this is your reward for attending this webinar, guys. Welcome to period 9. The shit gets real. Okay, here comes the acceleration. Okay, so what do you have to do for 2025, guys? Okay, what do you have to do for 2025? Okay, get yourself ready. How? Not by predicting. Okay, not by predicting. By making sure that every single decision you make, every next move you make is period 9 compliant. That is good enough. That's how you prepare in 2025 for 2026 and 2027. Because as long as you keep doing the same thing, you keep following the same strategy in 26 and 27, that is how you pick up nuggets of opportunities in times of messiness and chaos. That's the secret, guys. Okay. And I'm giving you guys this information for free. Okay. For free. Of course, some of you here are complaining that, Kenneth, I can't analyze this like you. This is the month of June already, right? I'm panicking. I don't have time to go and study BaZi. I don't have time to study metaphysics and figure stuff out myself. Okay? So, guys, is it okay if I spend the next 5 to 10 minutes to show you what the management has decided to help you guys out with? Yes? Okay. Now, when I saw this, I was shocked. Okay. So they said, Kenneth, please do this. Okay. Because many years ago, I came up with a coaching called Wealth Discovery Coaching to understand your wealth profiles. This wealth discovery coaching right now is very different. Okay, this is helping you to approach your wealth accumulation or to pivot you to your new path of wealth discovery for period 9. Okay, especially starting from now. Okay, starting from now. Okay, this is a one-to-one, same thing, 60 minutes, 1 hour Zoom session. Okay, just like any sessions, but this is the time when you tell me all the chaos, all the messiness, all the insecurities, all the toxic environments happening around you, and let me look at your chart and let me show you exactly what is going on and what you have to do. Exactly what I did for my friend in the last example. Okay, my crazy friend. Okay, but she doesn't sound crazy now, does she? Right? She's way ahead, 1 year ahead of the curve. All right. Now, one session is 368. Okay, but we are not going to sell you single sessions. This is not even an option. So even if you want to buy this, it's not available. What the management has decided, because of the urgency of these few months, this is what they have decided to do. They will give you a package of only 2 sessions. Okay, why 2 sessions? Because it's a process, right? There's 1 strategy session and 1 follow-up session. Okay, that's why minimum 2, because a lot of people say, we do not want 3, we do not want 6, we do not want 10. So we're only going to offer you 2 sessions because it's easier to digest. The price is 736 USD, but the management says, Kenneth, give them this. Okay, so the management has decided to offer 2 sessions for $500. That is a massive savings of 32%. That's over $236 of savings. Now, guys, this price was the price in 2021 when I first started. I have not seen this price for the last 4 years. But I guess the management also understood the nature and the urgency of what we are going through right now, especially when Trump is changing his mind every second day, right? Elon Musk and Trump from friends became enemies, right? There's firing of missiles between countries. I mean, it's just the whole world is just accelerating into period 9 aggression. Okay. And this aggression is going to affect our external environment, eventually hitting your career, your businesses. Okay. All right. So if those of you who need help, especially those of you who are in pain right now, okay, please take advantage of the generosity of the management, because this was 2021 pricing. I've not seen this in 4 years. Okay. Those of you who have bought packages of period 9 coaching or the previous wealth discovery, you know that it's not this price. Okay. So those of you who are interested, please scan the QR code over here. Okay. Now, we are only limiting we are only limiting 2 sessions per person, by the way. Okay, so if you scan this QR code, you can only buy one time. Okay, now in case, my advice is just take advantage of this offer, but just in case you need to buy it for your daughter, for your son, right? You can do it 2 ways. Number one, you can scan the QR code twice if you want to buy 4 sessions. Okay, if you think that is silly, please type in the chat PM right now, and the team will contact you privately to see what kind of packages would you be interested in. Okay, guys. All right. Now the thing is this. Okay. This package is only for this specific timing as of now, because this is relatively mid-year. So this is also our way of checking in with you to see how you guys are doing. Okay, because mid-year is gone, and the second half of the year is going to go even crazier. Okay. First and second session, normally I don't use timing, I use real events. So it depends on the events that keeps happening in your life, because this session has to be real. It's not theory, right? So you need real events to come into your life, especially decision-making events. That's when you trigger the sessions. You can trigger the second session anytime. Anytime. Okay, as long as you have real information to feed me so that I can do the reading, so that I can strategize for you. Okay, guys? All right, cool. Alrighty. Okay, nice. Okay, so you can scan multiple times, right? Or you can just PM in the chat right now, and the team will follow up with you to see how many you need. All right, so they'll guide you through the process. Okay, guys? Alrighty, so let's take some questions now while the team is helping some of you guys lock in your orders. Now, this session, because it's time sensitive, so this offer is only valid for the next 72 hours, guys. The reason why it's valid for 72 hours is for the benefit of people watching the replays. All right, so just to be fair, right? It's not 500 per session, it's $500 for 2 sessions. $500 per session is not a promo. All right, yeah. Okay, it's for 2 sessions. That's the only thing we're offering today. Because after 2 sessions, if you need more, you know, right? But 2 sessions is good enough for you to plan and type through, okay, this transitional stage or this transformational stage. Okay, guys? All right, so this is only valid for 72 hours before we close. Okay, that's according to the instructions of management. Okay, because we're just trying to help out people who need help. If you need help, you know you need help. We don't have to over-convince you. All right, we are offering this just in case you need help. Okay, but if you do, please take advantage. All right, and those of you who are more enterprising, all right, you can use this. You can use a few of these sessions for next year's annual consult if you want to as well. Okay? What will happen after July? No idea. No idea, right? Because May, June, and July, we have to see what happens first. Okay, we have to see what happens first. Then subsequently, the readings of subsequent months will make sense to us. So we have to see events happening as triggers before we make an intellectual guess. to what's going to happen in August and to the end of the year. Okay? Yes, my webinars are always multi-layered, just like my body full of meat. Okay. Is F&B compliant to period 9? Okay. What do you think F&B is, guys? Is it really about good food or is it about experience? Right? Think about this. Period 9 is experiential. All right? It's experiential. So whenever you taste good food, how do you feel? Oh, that was a great dinner. What does that mean? I had a great experience. Okay? Right? So F&B, if you use F&B as an and sell experience, experiential, okay, that is something that you need to understand about F&B. It's not about food. Okay? Okay. All right. Cool. Let me just let me take some. Okay, MK, I have sneaked in the hour but did not do anything in the last month. We're starting something new this month, bear same results. Okay, MK, do not be confused about doing something for results. I need you to do something to kickstart the process of pivoting, to kickstart the process of compliance. Don't care about the results first. Eventually, it's going to lead you to somewhere. Okay? But what's that result? None of us will ever know. But as long as it's period 9 compliant, you're on the right track. Okay? If you did nothing in May, something along the way in your environment is going to trigger you to do something in the month of June. Okay? Okay, Mei Hong, does it mean by undertaking those period 9 compliant related jobs, okay, i.e. must be internet AI, it could be industries, it could be trends, it could be how you approach making your money, Mei Hong. All right. So remember the 3 categories, right? That is not the exhaustive list, but is good enough for about 90% of you guys. Okay. I mean, I don't force you to do technology when you're not IT savvy, right? Correct? Okay, so I need you to be compliant. You don't have to be compliant to every single thing. But as long as you're compliant to one area of period 9, good enough. Okay, good enough. How to know which path is better for me? Stay at the same workplace or move to a new one? Okay, this is when this offer comes into place, because during the session, you feed me the information, tell me your thoughts, tell me if you feel do you feel that the environment is pushing you away? Or do you feel that apart from what you're doing now, do you feel like doing something different? This is when the session comes in. So I'll be asking you a lot of validating questions for me to do the reading so that I can give you the most appropriate actionable steps to take. Okay? All right. Cool. Alrighty. Okay. YL Chua. How about those already in online business? What does the 6-10 lakh pillar mean? Okay, doesn't mean you're in the online business means, okay, done. No. When you are in period 9 means you are doing more. You are being more involved. You are scaling up, doing bigger online business. It doesn't mean you do online business means you are already done. That means you tick off the period 9 compliance. You can scale up your online business, or you can even expand to different types of online businesses. Like for my example, you can go from online business and then you can even take on metaphysics, right? Who's stopping you? Correct? 6-10-year luck pillar means a flipping situation, a very big change, a very impactful change to your career. Okay? Retirement, going from employee to business owner, right? Or just say still employee but starting something on the side gig, right? For example. Okay? Yep. All right. Okay, is real estate industry still compliant to period 9? The answer is no. Compliant means whatever is growing. That means it has an element of growth. All right. Real estate belongs to period 8. That's period 8 prosperity. But period 9, it doesn't mean that real estate is going to die. But real estate is going to stabilize because period 9 is fire. Fire produces earth. So the real estate might go through a bit of a final shakeup. Okay. because in period 8, it went through a lot of volatility. It went through exponential gains. So the real estate market will sort of re-stabilize. Then it will sort of generally stay quite stable. All right. It's a very gradual sloping kind of event. So it's no longer as exciting in period 8. Right. So it's just very stable. Okay. Okay, I'm very strong in fire. Does it mean a lot of competition for me in next year? Well, I have to look at your whole chart. You're very strong in fire. If you say strong in competition, that's if you do things alone. Remember, the fact that you say, does that mean there's a lot of competition for me? Means your mindset is still very much like a solopreneur. Okay, a lot of, if you're very strong fire and we are in the fire season, there is very strong, or I would say there's massive collaboration and partnership opportunities for you to scale up your wealth. All right. So you go from solopreneur to collaboration. May. All right. Okay, Pamela, just like acupuncture treatment is not about treatment, it is the spa experience. Okay, good job, Pamela. Alrighty. Okay. Furry, I have plans to open small herbal cafe this year. Come for the session. Let's plan that out for you. Sometimes you do it alone. Sometimes the step-by-step process is very important. Sometimes you need collaboration. Let's get the first step clear, okay, before you throw in your life savings into the cafe, yeah? Hi, Kenneth. I'm aware that you previously got out of the oil and gas industry. This is a fire industry energy side. Is this still a good industry to be in, or is it best to get out of it? I'm also in oil and gas. Okay. Fire is energy in general, yes. But remember, this is tricky because fire is energy, but it's also the death of traditional businesses. So unless you are still dealing with crude oil, always of operating in the oil and gas industry, if you're not moving towards clean, circular economy, right? New energy sources, right? My suggestion is you will start to recognize a downward trend. That means a lot of things will either be stagnant, or it would not be. You will not experience growth much. Okay. What is ESG? Environmental sustainability and government, which is basically means protecting Mother Earth. Anything that is sustainable, protecting the earth, related to government efforts as well. Okay, that is ESG. Okay. Okay. If you're worried about scammers, scan the QR code here. Scan the QR code here. This is the cleanest way to do it. Okay, this QR code goes to the order page. It does not bring you to a Telegram channel. Okay, so there will be no scams. Okay, Agnes. Okay, no worries at all. I started a course on skills that is in period 9 industry and haven't figured out what to do as a job, what to do for business. Can I say that this is still a valid start? Yes, it's a valid start, but it doesn't help if you're not moving. Okay. See, guys, look at the questions, right? This is the reason why we're offering 2 sessions for 500. Okay, because there are questions and you need answers. You need the next step. All right, to make you period 9 compliant. This is exactly what we're doing. So I need to talk to you more about this. I need to ask you questions about the skills. You started a course on skills, and why aren't you moving forward? What are you worried about? What's holding you back? All right, stuff like that. I'm involved in education, MK, moved to wellness industry, did well in both areas, good. Then I stumbled upon metaphysics, got into studying and almost stopped working on earlier 2 careers. Now I am nowhere and super confused and financially, I think, burdened, right? So obviously you are period compliant, but the way you approach it is burning your savings, is very much affecting your cash flow. So your approach is wrong. Okay, so you need to talk to me and let's figure out what on earth are you doing. Okay, did you get overly excited by spending too much money on courses, for example, right? Any chance for personal consultation too for this package? You see, guys, remember, These 2 sessions is an hour with me. Whatever that is affecting your life right now, feel free to ask anything. Okay? As much as I focus on career, because that's what 70% of us focus on, but there's a small handful of you guys who are affected in relationships, family matters, personal identity confusion, and even some mental and physical health challenges. Okay? You guys can ask me anything. Okay? Developing apps is definitely because it's technology, is definitely period 9. Okay. Okay, just now using my wife's chart, the goat in the hour pillar, there was a specific activity. Will this activity change if goat was in the year pillar? Well, the hour pillar talks about products, your customers. The year talks about your open market. So that's how we differentiate the way we read it. Okay, for example, when I was showing my chart, my goat is in the pillar. So I am focusing a bit of my time on the e-commerce as well as the digital online market as well. Okay, there will be a recording or a replay of this session. Not to worry. Yeah. Okay. 2026 will be a clash with my day pillar of red. Okay, to harmonize the red clash, should I move to a new house? Okay, Rita, do not jump to conclusions, please. Okay, just because you clash with your day pillar, do you have plans? Is there a need to move to a new house? Okay, don't move houses for the sake of moving houses. Do you already have plans to move to a new house? If you have plans, then next year, because of the clash, it's good to move. Okay. If you don't have intentions or you don't have plans to move to a new house, the day pillar clash might be a change of your initial plans. So again, this is when I have to ask you questions for you to gain clarity. Yeah. What would be the best activities for someone with day Mars tiger? There's no such thing as best. I have to ask you questions. You're trying to ask Patricia. This is like a predictive thing. Don't do that. Okay, because that's the way you ask means you expect a definitive answer. No. All right. There is never a definite destination. Everything is evolving in period 9. All we are trying to do is try to get you on the correct path so that you keep experiencing the opportunities, and it's up to you to grab them when it comes along. Okay. Commodity trading, any form of trading, buy, sell quickly, is water. Okay, it's water. Psychology is period 9, fire, yes. Is a homestay at tourist location considered wellness, considered period 9? Well, tourism is very much growing in period 9. Homestay is experiential. So don't just be a boring homestay. Make it a good experience, Kenneth. All right? Remember, homestay, if you are just providing accommodation, it's earth, it's boring, it's very stable. But if you want to be more compliant to period 9, make the homestay exciting, right? Different themes. Okay, make it boutique style. Okay, make it a paradise. Okay, in the midst of a concrete jungle, for example. Okay, yeah, increase the experiential factor, and that is very much in compliance with period 9. Okay. Hi, Kenneth. I'm starting my first year of my 6-10 luck cycle, and I lost my business venue last year, and it forced me to have a reset. Okay, this is what we call bad things happen to pivot, to force pivot you, right? Okay, I started developing 2 different new businesses since late last year, early this year. Okay, day pillar Jia Dog, and my luck pillar is also Jia Dog. Like the example of this lady. Talk to me, Sarah. Talk to me. All right, please. Insurance still good for period 9. Insurance, banking, traditional financial institutions belongs to the metal industry. So period 9 is fire. Fire melts metal. So I won't say good or bad, but I was educated by some of my clients that insurance, you can't look at insurance as pure financial industry anymore, because a lot of insurance goes into areas of ESG, such as environmental sustainability. It goes into funding of unicorns and startup projects. So it depends on what you're involved in, Alex. Okay, but if you're involved in pure insurance, pure finance, then I would say it's not that great. Okay. If industry is not under period 9 exactly, but I choose to focus on the same scope, do more tech-related projects, that is still period 9 compliant. If the industry is not compliant, then your trends or your approach has to be compliant. Got it? All right, coming 6 luck pillar, a 7K clash, water dragon dog. Okay, doesn't suggest business setting up might get off ground at the same time by helping. Okay, Vic, basically what you're doing, you're entering a new realm, you're entering a new experience, you're entering a new playing field. So if you start a business, make sure this business is like entering a new war zone, right? A new playing field. That is correct. Henry, wouldn't produce means strengthening. Fire produces earth. Okay, so fire produces earth. Earth is period 8. So earth real estate is strengthened. That's why I say it's not bad. Okay, it just means stabilize. Just means stabilize. Okay, because earth is period 8 prosperity. Period 9, the earth prosperity has gone down, but it doesn't disappear or crash. It just stabilizes. There's no more what we call violent fluctuations or exponential growth. Okay, Henry, the fact they're asking this, most likely you're involved in some form of real estate investment or you're in the real estate industry. Okay, so just understand that the strategy for real estate investing has to be based on a stabilizing growth chart from now on. Okay. All right. With gold in my ear in DE, I'm very much seeking collaborations, but it's like a mental exercise and yet to fix on what action to take towards my career is Ox. Okay, so year and month clash means you guessed wrongly. Okay, so this is also one of those examples that I need to talk to you. All right, I need to help you either mitigate the clash. I need to find different forms of combinations inside your chart to give you the answers. Okay. Okay, banking and finance, I've answered that already. Okay. Yes, okay, banking and finance, I've answered banking and finance. You realize that a lot of like banks right now are letting people go. A lot of you realize this, all right? A lot of banks are even removing or reducing the number of over-the-counter services as well, closing outlets, okay, and keeping just a few skeleton outlets to maintain the operations. Okay, recap on education industry. I'm interpreting credit in adult learning, yes. P&I compliance or generally an institution is compliant regardless of what it teaches. Can I say so? Basically, if you get involved with education, I'm not talking about the schooling curriculum. I'm talking about outside of the schooling curriculum. Yes. Okay. Is investing in ESG market tools. Okay, investing, don't use this as prediction. Okay, when you talk about investing, make sure you know how to invest. Okay, if you do not know, please go and learn. All right, don't use this as prediction. All right. Kenneth, can you make a course to let us see different animal signs in the chart and how to approach? Real life parts execution, I did show this. Okay, to see how different animal signs in the charts and how to approach. I went through all the clashes, combinations, hidden combinations, destructions, punishments, and everything. So, Siska, when the time comes, when I offer this again, right, I hope that, you don't miss it. Okay. All right. Yeah. Is pharmaceutical industry part of wellness and care? No. Pharmaceutical industry is part of the water industry. It's part of the pharmaceutical industry. Okay, wellness and care is earth element. Pharmaceutical, because it's chemicals based, is water element. Okay, so pharmaceutical is water. Water is future wealth because it belongs in period 1. So if you're a full-time employee, so you're ahead of the curve. You're there, and make sure that you start to climb the corporate ladder now. Okay, Lorna? start to climb the corporate ladder now, all right? Because by the second 10 years of period 9, the pharmaceutical industry will start to achieve exponential growth. All right. Is consultation inclusive of Chiman strategy or BaZi only? Sparkle Joy. Okay, now do not, consultation is, you don't care what tools we use. Okay, as long as we give you the answer. If you, my habit is BaZi and Chiman forecasting if I need to. Okay, do not judge the session based on what we use, because we will never know what we use. BaZi is a guaranteed. Okay, but what we use on top of that sometimes might be feng shui as well. Sometimes, right? I do that. Okay, as long as you get the strategy, that's it. Okay, doesn't mean we don't touch Chiman means you're getting a lesser value consultation. No. All right. Okay, I am the dedicated consultant for this package. Okay, if you want another consultant, let the team know. Yeah, I'm okay sharing. It's okay. I'm perfectly fine. Yeah. Goat year career is Rooster. Wonder if opportunity to transform into a new career. CE. If your career is Rooster, look out for internal transfer opportunities. Okay, or new industries through string pulling. Okay. Can I pursue animal communication for period 9? If I understand animal communication, like based on what I watch on YouTube, the answer is yes. Okay. Because animal communication is another form of spiritual practice. Okay. I'm thinking of partner with my wife to start a senior care placement business. How can I use this for period 9? Come to me, right? I will compare your chart, your wife's chart. Senior care is big business in period 9, very big. There's not enough elder care, senior care, mental health counselors, caregivers, okay, in period 9. Okay, so this senior care business is a booming market. All right, so the partnership should not just be with your wife, it should be with fundraising, it should be exponentially scaling up, okay, to serve the boomer generation. I have a goat in the year and rooster in the month as well. Yeah, so you see, goat means change of markets. Because goat does not have any good auxiliary stars this year, which means it indicates a change of or tapping into a different market. Rooster means third party triggers or third party private invitations or internal transfers. Okay. Okay, cool. All your Zoom recording are P and C. Okay, you will be recording, I will be recording. My recording is not used to be shared or for teaching or for whatever nonsense. It's just to show that I've delivered the session. Okay, in the event that you want your privacy to be, to be preserved, at the beginning of the session, let me know and tell me that, Kenneth, I would like my recording not to, I would like you not to record this session, and I'm giving you permission to stop recording while I'm recording on my side. Then I'll stop recording and your instructions will be captured so that the management can use it to validate. Understand? It's okay. Just let me know what you need. Okay. Yes. Period 9, child daycare. Yes. Yes. Okay. It's under the care industry. Okay. All right. Okay, not sure of your answer, Sam. Is F&B compliant to period 9? Making people to have a good experience and enjoy meals is what I want to achieve. Correct. People enjoying their meals is exponential. Okay, so Sam, if you do an F&B, make sure that whatever you do, whether it's the taste, whether it's the way you place your dish, whether it's the theme of your restaurant, okay, make sure it achieves the exponential, the enjoyment phase. That is period 9. Okay, Siska, daughter beginning luck pillar snake means external events will influence her natal, has monkey in the month. How will it affect her? Well, opportunities, but dealing with different people. Okay, so Siska, your daughter might have new opportunities that maybe she has to say bye-bye to her old colleagues and hello to some new working relationships. Okay, yeah, good. Having horse in the year and day, next year more stress. Okay, when you have horse in your natal chart and next year is the year of the horse, you're going to go through something called self-punishment. Okay, which means next year there's more stress, there's more tediousness in your career. It doesn't mean bad. It just means you have to put in the extra commitment, the extra hard work to get to a better place. Okay, Jeannie? All right. Okay, Agnes, coach, my husband just asked me to be his bookkeeper for his new business while I actually have a tech job, which I really love. Haha, I guess I'll help him. Make sure you charge him, Agnes. Okay. Is Bitcoin fire? Bitcoin is water, but blockchain is fire. Okay. So you focus more on blockchain technology than Bitcoin as a byproduct. All right. What possibilities can happen when the annual year clash with the day pillar? A lot of things. Okay. Relationship changes, home changes, new realization. Okay. Education is wood. All right. Okay, if guy has horse in month and year and pig in day and 10 lakh cycle, this guy's life is very bad. His experience will be a bit painful. Okay, and the reason why is because he has to learn certain life lessons. The faster he learns his life lesson, the faster all this pain goes away. Okay, obviously, when this person has double pig and double horse, it means that this person is a bit extreme, stubborn in a certain way, a bit more skewed in terms of personality. So this guy has to learn through pain to rebalance his approach to the world. Okay. All right, Mia, if you want to invest through investment banker, can BaZi offer insight into appropriate industry that fit personal profile? Oh, okay. So you're trying to use BaZi to analyze the investment banker's profile so that to see whether this person can invest in you, is it? So that you see whether this person can make money for you, is it? Yeah, we have done this before, but it's a very amateurish approach. Normally, in the old days, Dato Joe will say, okay, if this investment banker is going through wealth luck, let him invest your money. Okay. But we realize nowadays, because of period 9, the ever changes, right? The technique has to be multi-layered. Yeah. Meditation is more metaphysics. It's more fire metaphysics. Okay. TCM is wood. Okay. TCM is wood. All right. Because it's talking about herbal stuff, natural remedies. Natural remedies normally come from the earth. So it's all about wood. And if it's talking about herbs, right? Herbs and all that stuff is earth. Aesthetics, beauty, fire. Is being a channel partner manager in online education resources for healthcare. Yes. Partner, compliant. Online education, compliant. Healthcare, compliant, right? Okay. All right. Which one is better aligned with P9? Strategy consulting or retreat wellness program? More retreat wellness program. Or better still, if both can be combined, of course. Okay. Hazel, career is rabbit. This belongs to the wood element. It's aesthetic beauty. And wellness belongs to wood element. It belongs to fire. Okay. It belongs to fire. All right. Should I pivot my real estate? You see, you guys have a lot of questions, right? That's why, guys, come on, right? Come for the sessions. I'm not here. We can't make much money from this kind of pricing, guys. Okay, but I'm here to give you guys answers. Based on all these questions, right, I can't give you a comprehensive answer for you guys to be clear for your next step. Okay, I only try my best here. Okay, I'm an executive admin staff, support staff, providing education for nursery nice to postgraduate. Okay, is it considered an education industry? You are in the education industry, but your role is supportive. Okay, from nursery to, yeah, just wondering if I should change my role in the company or change job to another relevant industry. Well, you are in the education industry. Okay, don't change for the sake of changing. Okay, this is when I need to ask deeper questions. Okay, red in the month pillar means next year there'll be a clashing year. Correct. Correct. Okay, next year you're going to pursue something. Rachel, student care also counted. Correct. I have the compulsion to advocate or speaking on the importance of self-care, focusing on mature women. How can I make this fulfilling pursuit? Okay, this is when we have to design a strategy. We have to understand what kind of things can you cross leverage on. Okay, because period 9, you definitely have to cross leverage on something, someone, some platform. Okay, for you to pursue this. MK, my daughter is still studying in 14th grade. Psychology and professional classical dancer. Okay. She'll be ready for work after 2027. Should she begin something now itself? Or will she be too late? It will never be too late, MK. Wait for her to finish her education first. Okay. Unless she comes to you with this explosive compassion of something. All right, then maybe. Okay, if not, let her finish her studies first. Okay, gold in the month means you're doing something different in your career. It could be a change of boss, leadership. It could be a change of your role as well. Okay, it could even be a change of, it could be repurposing of your role as well. Okay. Someone has changed job post CNY this year versus someone that has changed job last year. Will there be any difference? Okay. Normally, if you change jobs during the last 3 months of every year, you are tapping into the next year's luck already. Okay. So it might be a phase 1, phase 2 of job changing. Okay. Okay. Earlier question, horse, pig. There are also 2 pairs of hidden combo. What opportunities is hidden? Okay, so hidden depends on what you're doing, Henry. Okay, if you're into equity investing, then there's a very good chance of owning equity across multiple businesses. Okay, or if you're just directly working with people, then you have a lot of internal contracts to do your work. All right. Alrighty. How about hydrogen water? Water is water. Okay, hydrogen water is just a product. What are you using it for, Eureka? Are you using hydrogen water in the area of wellness? Right? Or are you selling hydrogen water technology? What are you selling? Right? Whatever you're doing, make sure it's period 9 compliant. Okay, year rabbit, month rat, in the luck 10 luck cycle, goat's house. Okay, focus on water companion. Current job is asset management. Okay, yep. So, okay. All right. Okay, I can't read all your charts, guys. Photography is definitely relevant in period 9. Okay. Okay, Yuki, what industry would most suitable for her? Rooster is metal, so finance, speaking, entrepreneurship, leadership, governance. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Rabbit, horse, dragon. Now jobless. A bit struggling financially. How? Talk to me again. All right. Cool. All right, guys. Wow, I think I went through like 100 questions, if I'm not wrong. My goodness. Okay, cool. All right, guys. I think I've overextended my welcome. Okay. Excellent. Okay, you guys who are jobless, right? Please come and talk to me, please. Right? I'm here to help. Okay, and the management has also agreed to help. All right, so please, Okay, 1 hour per session, 1 hour per session, 2 sessions altogether. Okay, any session beyond an hour is not productive and it's a waste of money. So we'll never do that to you. Got it, guys? Okay, right. So those of you who sign up, congratulations. I'll look forward to seeing you in the consults. All right. Anything, please contact the team. Okay. And those of you who did not sign up, I'm not going to unfriend you. Do not worry. Okay. Just make sure that you stay period 9 compliant. I hope that even though you're not spending any money with us, but I hope that you take this free information and, move with confidence, okay, through the rest of the months, okay? And whenever things get a bit too messy for your liking and you feel lost, it's never a sign of weakness to seek help, and because we are just a Zoom call away. All right, guys, my name is Kenneth Wong again, and thank you guys so much for attending this session today, right? All the best, and I'll see you when I see you. All right, guys, take care.